Hey guys, so I'm back and I just want to show you guys the final result of all four techniques that we did today. So the first one was our wash and go. So as you can see, the hair is 100% dry and it has formed that cast that we were talking about. So what is the cast? The cast is created after the hair is 60% dry, 60% or more dry, and you have used like gel product or curl contouring creams mixed with gels, etc. So we have formed a cast, and so now we are going to break the cast. So I am using the Biolage Smooth Proof serum. So I'm going to use a little bit in my hand. So I use about 2 pumps, and I'm going to work that product in my hands as if I was using lotion. Get it all in between my fingers and my fingertips. So we're going to use that product and we're going to simply break the cast on our wash and go set. So you can lift up, you can run your fingers through just at the base. I would not run my fingers entirely through this section. And here, as you can see, I am piecing each cluster out, and just to make sure the hair stays in its most natural defined state. So we again, it's a wash and go, so we want to make sure that we don't uh, manipulate too much, but we also want to make sure that we are removing that cast or that film that has been created on the hair, making it look as natural as possible. So again, I am just simply running the product through, lifting and pulling and tugging. I am separating my clusters, making sure that I get the most natural look. Here I am lifting at her base and making sure that I get a little volume. You can create volume here at this point. You could even spray a little of the texture spray in there just to create a little more lift if they want. And then here you see me adding a little more serum to my ends, or to my tips of my fingers, and then I'm adding it to the ends of her hair because that section there looked a little fuzzy still. So yes, this is our wash and go. It is beautiful. It's still natural. It looks lived in. It looks as if she washed her hair and she just let it dry. So this just gives a little more flair, with us just doing our little techniques and our final touches on it just to make sure she's happy. So that is a beautiful look. So now our next technique was our finger coils and our comb twist. So we're going to do the same thing, grab a little of our smooth proof and add it into our hands like lotion. And we're going to break the cast on these coils as well. So you can see the difference between the finger coils and the comb twist and the wash and go. So the wash and go just reinforces their natural curl, and your finger coils or comb twists actually adds a different type of curl. So here what I am doing is taking each finger coil or comb twist and I am separating them out. I'm running my fingers from the scalp or from the root to the end with that oil or that serum product on my hands. So what that is doing is distributing the product from the scalp to the ends, breaking up the cast, breaking up the curls, and adding a more fuller curly effect. This look is really, really good for, again, those ladies who want to still wear their curls, but they kind of want to add a little more definition and dimension. So here you can see that it's a lot fuller because I've broken the curls up than what is at the top where we physically place those curls. So you want to just go through each coil twist, break them apart. You can break them in two, you can break them in four. Just all depends on the final look that you are going for and the final look that your client is looking for. Also, you can take that coil as you break it up, you can twist it around your fingertip as you see I'm doing here. That also reinforces you to get that serum off of your hand onto the hair, and it just keeps that curl intact while breaking the cast. So I just grabbed a few extra pieces just so you guys can see a final full effect. And as you can see, once I separate them, I'm separating them apart from one another and allowing them to fall wherever they fall, which is what gives it that more voluptuous look. And here you can see that those pieces I have not separated. You'll be able to know when you have gotten them all, because you'll feel that cast still on the hair, and then the coils will look more placed versus more pieced out. So yeah, that is the final look for our finger coils and our comb twist. Beautiful, beautiful. You can see the shine. You can see the texture. It's amazing. And really focus on those ends with that serum as well. Making sure that you get those ends, because the ends tend to be the driest part. We want to make sure we're adding shine there. All right, so now we are going to do the same with our Bantu knots. So my beautiful design, you see there, she's worn this for maybe a week or two, and now she's ready to take them off. So I'm going to untwist in the opposite direction that I twisted these Bantu knots in. So you'll know, because if you twist and it gets tighter, then that means you're keeping it in. But if you twist the opposite way, that means you're loosening it up. So I'm going to loosen it up, and I'm going to run my fingers along that one Bantu knot, allowing the product to be distributed through the hair, the mid strands, the base, the mid strands, and the ends. And then I'm just going to let it fall. So you could either leave it like that, or you can piece this out in smaller sections and allowing that product to be distributed through. If you piece it out in multiple sections, it's going to give it a more fuller effect, a more fuller, voluptuous, I like that word, look. So I suggest piecing them out in fours, or however many that section can allow. So you see that one took about 4 sections for me to piece them out, and it looks really full and really beautiful. So again, we're doing another one. I'm going to unwind it the opposite direction. I've added a little more serum to my hands, just to make sure that I am adding enough product according to the density and texture of my guest hair. So Amber is a 3C. So I am going to really make sure I focus in on getting that oil or that serum into the hair, because that pattern really sucks up the moisture. So you want to make sure that you're really getting it in there, so that the hair looks really shiny. And this style will last her at least another week. So you can see that it is filling in, and you do notice parts. So how to get rid of those parts, we know you can just take a little bit of, or you can take your comb and you can do a little teasing there, or back combing, just to separate the parts. Or what you could do is, when you are creating your design, you can do a brick lay pattern, which will allow the curls to lay on top of the sections or the partings. So therefore you won't see the partings as much. So you can play around with it. Although as you take these all out, if you were to do a full head of these and remove them all and piece them out, such as we're doing now, you will notice that the parts will kind of diminish themselves, because the hair will start to fill in place. So yeah, so again, play with it and see how you like it. Also, you see the curl pattern is a lot different than when we did our finger coil or comb twist, or even our wash and go. So this gives a more creative curl pattern, which I really love, and it gives it more of a, I guess, an avant-garde type of a curl. So yeah. So we're going to take down this last one just so you guys can kind of get a full effect of this bottom section and see how it looks when you remove pretty much the whole head. So again, I'm unwinding it in the opposite direction that I coiled this section up, and then I am piecing it out, making sure that I distribute the product throughout the entire strand of each of these sections. So you see here, so now it's a fuller effect and you can barely see those part lines that we have created. So this is what I was talking about. When you take the entire head down, you really don't have to worry about too much parting or worry about the partings too much. But yeah, this is our Bantu knots. The finished look of our Bantu knots. Look at that shine. It looks awesome. This is beautiful. And this technique is really best done on someone with 3 to 4 patterns of hair. You're going to get the best look or the best results with those 2 patterns. Awesome. So let's move on to our rod set and our flexi rod set. So at the top we did our rods, and I've taken those out because we all know how to take out rods. And then the flexi rods I left in because I purposely wanted to show you guys how to remove them. Lots of questions on how to remove them, so I'm going to walk you through that. So let's do this first one. So you're going to unfold or unlock your rod. You're going to untwist it. So you're going to unfold it, untwist it, and then you're going to wind it down the rod or do an opposite coil. And then you get like a little Shirley Temple. So let's do it again. So you're going to unlock it, then you're going to unwind it, and then do a little coil in the opposite direction. And then you release your Shirley Temple. So I'm going to remove the rest of the rods so that you guys can see how I finish this technique off. This technique is also very beautiful, and this is the one I was saying you can use your flexi rods for elongation if they wanted to create like a faux bob look. And then you could use your perm rods in the back, and that will give them more volume in the back, and then you would have more elongation in the front with the flexi rods. So again, I used a little of the Smooth Proof, and I'm going to go through and piece each curl out, separating them into smaller sections. And as I do that, I am winding the curls around my fingers, stretching them, and allowing the product to be distributed evenly throughout the strands. So this will add shine, it'll break the cast, and it'll help this style look very beautiful and very natural and lived in. So us curly girls who tend to get rod sets, sometimes we'll tell the stylist, hey, you can leave the rods in, or, when you take them out, don't worry about piecing them out. And the reason for that is simply because the style lasts longer when you don't bother it so much. I definitely suggest not allowing them to leave without you breaking the cast, because you never, never, never want your client to walk out with that like almost crunchy look to their hair. So what you can do is take a little oil. If they tell you, I don't want you to break up my curls, but I do want you to, remove the cast and whatnot. You see, as I'm doing here, I am simply taking my hands at the base, or my fingers at the base, and I'm just lightly playing with the curls. And as you can see, they're still in their formation, but I am kind of breaking that cast lightly, and I am adding a little bit of shine with the serum on my hands. So yes, you will get that. That will be something that a client will tell you. And then there are those clients who want you to break their curls up. They want that finished look. Then in that case, you will go through and you will piece out each curl. So here, as you can see with the rods, you got a lot more volume and the curls are a lot shorter. So you have to keep that in mind. If they're telling you that they want longer curls, rods are probably not your option or your go-to for them. If they want shorter curls or they want more volume, go for it. Use the rods. And then there's different techniques. So I showed you guys a couple techniques to use for that. So utilize that. So here you can see where you have the volume from the rods and then you have the length from the flexi rods. If you're doing multiple techniques on one person's head, you want to make sure you marry the two together. Otherwise, you'll have that definite parting or definition in between the two, and they'll notice it. Everyone else will notice it. You'll notice it. You want to make sure you get rid of that. So yes, guys, this is the final look for all of our techniques that we did today. You have your finger coils, you have your wash and go, you have your Bantu knots, and your rod set. So have fun with this. Utilize these techniques, play with them, hashtag us, send us pictures on Instagram, and yes, let us know how you guys enjoy it. Thank you. Bye.